The 5/21, May 21st. Is the amount of people that died in the shooting and the amount of people that were injured.
5 people shot or 5 shootings?
It's 5 people dead. He's trying to sound as, you know, as possible. He's trying to sound as obvious as possible.
No, stay right here.
So there's the 5/21.
Right here, something happened right here.
Letting you know. Just reminding you about the 150 days.
Yeah, we just hit the U-turn.
Years ago, and I thought, why am I doing that? Well, okay, I'll do it. Might as well. It's kind of cool. That cat's little teeny, narrow cat door.
I'm very aware
so anyway,
that my tongue is getting ready to get pulled out of my mouth.
The last couple of days, I was trying to feed him anything and everything, but nothing was working. So anyway, just documenting everything. That's what I do. And then I'm going to go out here and give you guys just a quick visual on. That's the project.
I told him I was sweaty for something else.
So anyway, I'm going to finish what I got to do, and this will be added on to the rest of the video. All right, figure. Perspective. That's the front of the street. That's the fence. And that's the side. We're on the side of the house. That's in the house. This is the side of the house.
Just going through my last.
I'm going to pause this for 1 second. So I know I said I was just going to let it run straight through, but
yeah, but you lie a lot.
Perspective. We're going backwards in time right now. Let's see. We're going backwards in time right now. So you can see this is the form that's built.
All right, so you can see that Johnny's trying to tell us without, you know, again, I'm just here to help everybody understand what he's saying, because he doesn't want to like just come out and say it. He wants somebody to say it, but he's going to act like it's not true. It's just the way it works. On August 31st, it was before August 31st, so it's like a timeline of, I think each event is the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Trumpet, when you hear about it, it's like the trumpet's being blown. Here's the trumpet. Those 3 rice cookers over there in New York was a trumpet being blown, that the next event is coming over here to Philadelphia. And then that's going to be when the bowl of wrath is poured out or dumped on us. And then the seals opened up. And then it's a whoa.
There's actually no framing here. See, what you might think you're looking at right there is framing now. Those are the 6x6s that were going up that used to support the deck that was on top of the shipping container. And so I had to build within that little teeny area. I was like, what? So anyway, that's what you're looking at. So you saw the Batcat thing, which just happened a few days ago. But now this part of the video you're watching, this is way back at the beginning of the project. Just want you to know that. Here we go. Here's where the container was. And so, you know, it got pulled out of there. It wasn't right on top of these big rocks there and there. And so now we're framing up a form in here. This is the steps right here. This is basically before September even. So, you know, I just showed you, you know, you just saw the little Batcat video of me talking about Batcat going outside to bury him. What you're looking at is way in the past now. This scene right here, this is from like before August 31st. So just want you to understand, it's like a Quentin Tarantino thing.
I understand it clearly.
So we're framing it all up. We're gonna put a little building right there, kind of like that building right there. Me and Jimbo built that building. There's my tool shed. There's the man cave, and I guess this is the dental lab.
That's where we're gonna pull your teeth out, Robin. Let me go with that.
Again, this is when we're pouring the form. This is the alley that I had to level to get this truck back here. This is before I got the letter in the mail from Mike with his pictures. That's the dirt I had.
Now, if you notice, he had 6 bowls of wrath in that video that he's saying was before August 31st. 6 studs or something with 6 by 6s. That's right, 6 by 6s. So 6x6s. There was 6 officers shot. One of them had a grazed head, a wounded head. He did live. Thank God for that. I mean, it's like you can't even make this stuff up. It's like a Bible book being born in an alleyway. I mean, on TV too. It's like an alley book that's being born. And so what he's doing here is he's letting you know, because his walls are telling a story. They're telling on him. He's telling on himself. This was the event before the fire at the Church of Philadelphia at 52nd Lancaster Ave.
Had to level for this thing to come back. So there it is, all the way back here, all the way to those guys. Memo Juanito. And one. Rainbow going to the house. I'm going to the house and it's a rainbow on top of a rainbow. No!
That's impossible. I can't just call up my guys up in the Air Force like, yo, make a rainbow real quick. Yeah, I got somebody driving me. I'm going to act like I'm God. Hey, can you imagine that? Like, you're just walking around, like, saying to the person over here, you're like, you know what? I feel like seeing a rainbow today. I bet you if I just sit here and point, I'll be able to draw one in the sky. And then the person doesn't know that there's miracle signs and wonders up in the sky. And then, you're, just imagine you're me. Like, imagine you're like Kleck or something, and you see people and you do that, right? And then they see you do it, and they're so totally amazed that you can draw a rainbow in the sky just with your finger. Man, imagine how people would worship you if that's what you wanted.
See over there, there's 2 rainbows.
I know, the day that I seen, there was 2 other rainbows, and Stephen James, he had it in the back of his yard. It was crazy because it's like you guys are in sync together, almost like you're acting like these 2 kings that one of them is underneath the ground and the other one's above the ground so everybody can see it. There's also another one though. Donald Trump is playing the top role, like where the entire world knows him. The only people that know Kleck is you guys from the inside, and me.
Okay, so
Who he really is.
Okay, so the sliding glass doors in, the windows are in, got all the lighting done, the little arc is right here.
I think the arc is for us. Is that our prison cell, Kleck? I'm pretty sure it is.
All the way to the very top.
He's got
to the
2
ceiling, so you
floors.
can get off on the 2nd floor from your little pipes that go up the wall as a ladder, shown as a ladder, and they'll go all the way up to the bunkhouse at the very top as well.
Yeah, I think that's where we get hung at. Oh yeah. You put the rope around there.
Kind of documenting, got the whole thing done, got the door in,
Yeah.
staircases, windows are in.
That's where I'm going, guys.
Taking Victor hostage, the electrician. He will not be able to leave. There's
Victor sounds very excited about being taken hostage.
Here's the really good news. Absolutely no water.
No water. Yes.
There's the doors installed to the
Oh wait, I'll show you. He gets so excited about it.
absolutely no water whatsoever. Yes! Drive in.
We're dried in. Yes, the 18th of October is here into the 20th and the 21st.
First part of September.
This is when everybody came, like,
They're helping me
at
load
Home
up the wood
Depot
and stuff.
at the 4:35 mark. See, there's Home Depot. Okay, there's Home Depot. That was before August 31st. I won't do it. I won't. Look. Would you rather hear? the song. It's creepy. It sounds like a song that you're just walking to your death. Like you're gonna get hung inside of an ark where there's a second floor, and there's like this thing that looks like it's gonna. You could just put a head chopper. Oh, that you could just put a head axe right there. Click. That's what you do. You lay us down right over the ledge there, and our heads off like this, and then you just have the axe up there, and then just like that, right? Is that literally your plan? Oh well.
There's Webb, Corey,
It ain't my fault that
Brandon, Spears.
it ain't my fault that I can read through bullshit so easily now and see like who's really in charge and who's gonna take responsibility for whatever is gonna happen. Because I need to hold somebody responsible for what they're doing.
Eric and Susie. Oh, look at that cat. Sadness.
Your cat's fine, John. So 15 minutes before the cement truck came, this tree decided to fall over. 15 minutes, 150 days. 150 days is coming up. Let me just do the math to make sure. The reason why 5 people got shot and 21 got injured with the script was to remind you that was the beginning part of the 150 days. Just in case if you didn't know, like some people are slow to learn, so they're trying to catch up on what he's doing. So let's see the 18th there. Yep. So here's your 150 days. May 21st, 2019, which was the 7th and going into the 8th year since we were conceived, 144,000, 8 years. We're going into 150 days. And then what Kleck plans on doing is what he was promised. I know what the Bible says. He was promised 42 months to reign. You know how many promises are broken? I think Johnny even has he has like a clothing line called Broken Promises. I'm sure he has like really good artwork on there. I can't wait to see all your artwork, like for real, like the stuff that, I mean, I already see it actually, but I can't wait till people start just telling the truth about what they're actually doing. So 150 days, 5/21, August 31st. Kleck got his, Jonathan Kleck there, the one that's in charge of this. I guess he's like I'll just call him the orchestrator. Because I know like it's not just one person is truly in charge. I think you guys have a table. Is there 13 of you that sit? Just in case, because it's all. Is that the way it is? You got 13 people sitting there. That way there's never a tie. You can never have a tie when somebody is in charge of orchestrating something. If you choose somebody else, you can't just go to it, like you can't just make the decision on your own, right? Isn't it like a jury? So if there's 13 of you, if there isn't, I mean, I think is a good idea. to have 13 people judge, not even, because you don't want to ever have a tie. It needs to be the majority rules. And the majority is when one person is in charge and their face. What the hell was that? Oh, I was just shape shifting. Oh shit. Oh man. So anyway, when there's one person in charge of making decisions on, what you guys are going to do for the next 42 months. If there's somebody else that comes along like myself that has, better ideas in life and how to treat people, that forceful feeling that you get when you feel like you have to do something because whoever you put in charge is has that forceful God that they worship. You don't have to really do anything except for share what you have and be kind to other people. Don't hurt anybody. Everybody's going to worship their own God after this happens, and we're going to worship ours. The majority of the world is they're going to worship what they worship, but ain't nobody going to go around trying to terrorize people because the world ain't like this anyway. The media, you guys are the ones that push this to make it seem like everybody's just monsters, when the real monsters are you. You guys are the monsters. But I can see where, you kind of hated people like myself for a long time. Why? Why? Well, people that, Christians, people that proclaim Christianity. I understand why you would get irritated because, they're hypocrites. Look at Derek from Glop of Truth. He's still messing with Gary Perry. I just listened to his video. He's still talking about shit from 2 years ago. And Gary hasn't even made a video in 6 months or something. It's like, man, you guys, oh man, you guys are going to get it. You guys are going to get it. You think I'm going to get it? Oh, poor Rob. Bye-bye, Robin. We know that you're going to go. Bye. Don't you know that I planned on this Exodus route after 30 months? Exactly. Because I didn't need to go any longer than that to get my point across. To reach who I needed to reach in the world. Pull them out into the limelight. Like, hey, look, this is SJD. This is the guy in charge of gang stalking me the entire time. He knows everybody in Hollywood. Everybody knows him. He's the underground king. Maybe he doesn't know everybody in Hollywood. He knows the important people, I'm sure. Same thing with Kleck. Jonathan Kleck, the guy in the Air Force that is responsible for setting up the scenery in the sky. These are all facts. To the ones that are watching and you already know, these are facts. Facts. He sets up that stuff up there because he's a skydiver. He was in the Air Force, right? I mean, I'm just assuming, but I'm sure it's a fact. And he knows all about the sun simulator because they're going to park it. I think they're going to park that at the end of the 21 days. Now that I'm thinking of it, because the 21 days of Daniel is starting on the 21st of October, because that is the 7th and of the 8th year since the first woe. Since that seal was opened up, the 5th trumpet and the 5th seal and the first woe. The first woe is not the first 9/11. That's the elite's woe. The first woe came first. That's why they're playing out an extra 8 years or 3.5 or whatever. Johnny was promised the 42 months, but there are broken promises because he's the person that it's going to be broken for. He's gonna see what it feels like to truly have a broken promise. I think it's kind of sad that the stuff he says, it's going to work against him. I do have a heart, man. I mean, I do feel for Johnny that way. And I know after all this is done, Johnny's going to be a really good friend of mine. He is. Guaranteed. I guarantee it. He's not really going to chop my head off. He's not really going to round us up and torture us to death. He's not going to do that. I think he does want to do that. I think he does at this moment. So, I know I joke around a lot because, not really joke around, I just have a sense of humor at things, and then when it's time to be serious for whatever. But, I'm not blind. I do see that this is a commando, like a commando guy, like someone that commands people to do things, and they go there and they do that, and they, just like the Bible says, that's the guy. That's him right there. He's the guy that is the face of Lucifer in the world. Like on social media, he's the main face. He is the face of Lucifer. Not saying he is at all. Just saying he's the face of it. He's perfect fit. You're doing a good job, Johnny, with what Satan needs you to do in that area. What God needs you to do is next. What God is going to have you do, the positive side of God, the good energy, the good deeds, the ones that God doesn't hate. When you start doing those deeds, man, you want to talk about being full, like going from one complete end back to the other, like knowing the entire Bible inside out. I am jealous. If I knew more of the Bible, if I've read it like back and forth and had all this time to do it, I would know more, and these puzzles wouldn't be put. I wouldn't have to put them together as much now towards the end if I just read more of the Bible and understood it. So I'm figuring it out as I go. That's why I don't know. I just think the 3 days of darkness will be at the end of the 21 days. So from 11/11, the 3 days before that, the 8th, 11/8. I feel like that's my pop's birthday, actually, November 8th. November 8th. So the sun's going to go dark, I feel like. Even though it doesn't say it anywhere in the Bible about actually going dark for 3 days. But that's the point where that's the last thing that gets everybody's attention in the entire world. Because right now, that's the final, that's the final. Because right now, you have to get everybody's attention through the fear. You got to push fear. Push all the fear. We need to see everything imaginable on the television set. The one in front of the one inside of our house. That television set. We need to see everything possible on that television set first. Then once everything escalates, and when Johnny shows angels going on one side of the wall outside on our TV screen, angels descending down, and above just such scary images and floating angels and demons. It's going to be, look, it's going to be fantastic, the show. I can't wait to see it, for real. But you know how many people are going to be freaked out and scared to death? Oh, man. It would mess me up too if I didn't realize a few years back that sky up there is completely artificial. It's artificial. And now I know who's also responsible for that. Who would have? You can't even make this stuff up. You can't even think this stuff up. Oh, man. I can dissect Johnny all day long, and I do. And you know what? I want to say this. I'm sorry, Johnny. All right, I'm sorry only for this one thing. Only this one thing. for like making fun of you, like your sexual preference. I'm sorry, Johnny. I am. Because it at first, what you're representing, I didn't realize what you're representing. Your role in this world is tremendous from God. You know, my dad. I'm telling you, you're playing a tremendous role, but you have to be humbled first. You're not going to be destroyed in battle or anger just by decisions that are made by 13 people. That's all. No hard feelings. You know, I'm. You just got to step down from that one part of like being able to, push the button and just have the world be destroyed, like that kind of authority. You just got to step down a notch. Just let me step up. I'll take over that part. It's good. You don't look. I'll make it easier. Just step down from there and just relax. Just relax. Everything's going to be good in the end. So I was a little bit insensitive, because here's the funny thing. My son's uncle, right? He's gay. He's one of the kindest people. He's quiet-ish, right? He had this, and this was probably like when I got out of jail, because I rented a garage underneath of where they lived, and Christian's aunt lived upstairs, and his other uncle lived downstairs. So his family was there, and the kid's name is Sean, right? And Sean was so well. Let's see. This was in 2006, 2007, 2008. Yeah, 2008. So it was 11 years ago. Sean, right? He's tall, thin, blonde hair, and flamboyant, and he has that that you cannot possibly know that he's not in a room, like that kind of thing. But he's funny as shit too. And back then, I wasn't used to it, but he would always hit on me, and I felt so uncomfortable about it. And then at times I'm like, and I just started to laugh it off, and then it was cool afterwards. But I wasn't. It was weird at that point, at that time, because of it. But I've after being around them, Jay and Sean, I really started to love like them more than regular people that are so miserable walking around on Earth. It's like how is that you guys are so happy, man? It's awesome. But it was like the first time that energy from Sean, being the way he is, very personable, and joking around with me, like doing that. Hey, you look pretty good. Thanks. Oh my God. So it was a feeling inside that you have to kind of figure out, like, if you're being hit on by somebody, like, I don't know how to explain it besides it was the most uncomfortable feeling, and then to be able to work through the feeling, because basically all it is it's a demon that's getting you to feel uncomfortable. That's what social anxiety is. So that's what Sean actually helped me with, my social anxiety. So I give him credit for that, and then I get irritated when I hear like pastors talking about you shouldn't have fellowship with homosexuals. Like, you can't allow them into your church because you don't want to fellowship with them. Like, if they're practicing sin, you have to look at them like, I'm really disappointed in your life. I really am. I'm sorry that you guys are happy. You don't stress in your life, okay? You already know that you're not going to burn in hell anyway. Like, So, what is it that I'm judging you for again? I don't know, because I'm a freaking big fat hypocrite Christian that judges people all the time. So, those kind of people, when they say you can't hang around somebody, isn't that what they said to Christ? Isn't it the same thing? Why are you sitting with the sinners and the publicans and the homosexuals and and all the misfits? Like, what are you doing, Christ? Why are you fellowshipping with them? Those you're gonna do the same thing. You know, if you hang out with them, if you're a follower, I mean, well, you're not because we follow you, Jesus. So, that's Satan's the follower, right? Yeah, yeah. Okay, sometimes we're mistaking you, Christ, that you're not a follower. So you're going to do what you need to do, that God is leading you to do, and that goes with like free will. Hey, free will. You want to be a homosexual? Isn't that free will? Do you want to be a liar? You can continue to lie. Go ahead. I'm not stopping you. You can feel that way all you want to. Just don't hurt anybody. That's it. Isn't that the main thing? Are you hurting somebody? What is it? Does it hurt your eyes? Does it hurt your brain to judge people so much? So that's what has gotten on my nerves over time, and I've realized that I don't claim Christianity whatsoever. I don't claim anything. I don't have a religion. It's just love thy neighbor like you would love yourself. That's it. And share. My commandments are love your neighbor and share what you got. It solves everything. It really does. So it's 5:21 and time's up. 150 days is Friday the 18th of October. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to see this show. I'm ready to see what everything is. Boy, man, oh man. In Philadelphia, I get to see it firsthand with my own eyes up close because I'm going to be there again on Monday. Because I feel like it's Monday this time. I feel like it's the, what date is that? 18th, 19th, 20th? 19th, 20th, 21st. I feel like it's the 21st. If not, 28th. Could be Wednesday in the midst of the week. I think we're saving that for a rapture. I think that's the rapture, huh?